Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're having a good time making this Antarctic book. We are now on the second half of the book, so we are going to do page 5 in this video. So I'm going to label my third pocket page 5 and 6. Okay, I'll put that aside a second, and I'll give you the measurements for this. So we are going to cut an A piece at 7 7/8 by 6. So that is 2 lines before 8. B is 7 7/8 by 5 7/8. So 2 lines before 6. C is 7 7/8 by 4 3/4. D is 5 1/4 by 4 1/2. And E is a pocket at 9 1/8 by 4. Okay, so let's get these all scored. This B flap, when I lay it down, I may cut a little more off. I haven't decided yet, but we'll see. So let's see. So A flap, we're going to have the 6-inch side facing the top. And let's just score that 1/2 inch. Our flat side is up, if you're using textured paper. So B, same thing. Have these 5 7/8 sides facing the top. C, okay, we're going to have the 4 3/4 side up. D is a small pocket on the inside of I believe that C flat. So I'm going to start this. We're going to score it on 3 sides with the longer side facing the top. So that is the 5 1/4 inch side. Let's start with that. And the last piece, E, is our pocket, and the open side, which is the longest side, is at the top of the score. All right. Now let's get some score tape. This one's a pocket also. Made that a little, okay, as long as I'm below the line. I was a little close over there, but okay. When you make your flaps, just label with a pencil which one is A, B, C, because some of these are very close in size. All right, and let's press everything down and fold over. Can. so for the 2 pockets, let's cut the corners. I'm going up to this intersection point right here and turn out a little bit and continue on. And then we can fold these over. All right, so let's bring down our pocket page. I've got my 5 labeled here, and let's get started with the left flap. So let's take flap A. That's a little bit longer than B. So we've got our A and B right here. We'll do those first. So I'm going to turn my page to the side. I've got my 5 down here in the lower left, and I'm going to put this A flap down first. So I'm guiding up my fingers here. I've got a little bit of space to the left and right, and my thumbs are at the bottom here, and I'm just going to slowly press this down right to the edge. And that looks good. I got a little space here and a little space on that side. Okay, I like that. So what we're going to do with our smaller piece, this is now the B piece. I'm going to put that on top here, going right here at the open end in the middle here. And that will lay, you know, right to the edge. And I'm going to look here real quick. It's going to be the same, you know, little space to the left and right. And what I want to see is a little bit of space right here at the edge. And that just lets everyone know that you can flip this over. So there's a little space. If I went all the way to the edge, it'd be harder to tell. So I'm gonna have 2 things going. I have a little bit of space, and I'm gonna quarter around these edges, and that will show whoever's looking at your scrapbook that they can pull this over. All right, so I am going to definitely corner around these edges. And here, I'm going to put this right here. Okay, so I'm going to look to the left and right, and this is the same height paper, so there's not going to be any space. It's going to be lined up exactly with this A flap, and then right to the edge, I'm going to guide it down with my thumbs here. And just slowly press that down. So now we have this piece that's going to open like that, and then the whole thing will open like this. And that gives a whole lot more space for pictures. And it's just going to look nice with what I have planned over here. Okay, so now the other side. We're going to do the right-hand side, and that gets this flap C. And I just have a little bit of space to the left and right, and I'm going to guide it right to the edge here. Let's see. I've got a little more space on this side, so I think I'm going to reposition I'm just being really nitpicky, but I have more space on the one side than this side. Just gonna make sure I get this right. I think I had a shadow before, but okay. That looks better to me. All right. Okay, now this flap is going to have our small pocket underneath here. So I'm going to be going like that, and it goes right to the edge over here, and that lands just before this fold. So I am going to just take off the bottom piece of score tape backing. Press that down. And now I can put this underneath here. I'm going to go right to the edge, right at the bottom here, and right to the edge, and that leaves me just a little bit of space right here before this crease, and that will allow me to fold this flap over like that. Okay, and now our pocket goes right here. You're used to this by now. Most of the pages have a pocket. And that just allows for an enormous amount of pictures. So here we go, right like that. And now for magnet placement. So for this side pocket, I'm gonna put one on each corner. All right. Let me see something here. Okay. You can look at this if you want to corner around this top. You just can't corner around here because there's a pocket there. But if you want, you could put a corner there. I'm going to leave that open for now, but you can think about it when you look at the design paper. You know, let me see. I think I am going to put a small corner there. Okay, and then I'll put my opposite magnet there. And then I will fold this over. All right, take these down. Oops. Okay, so now the next one, I am going to have two right here that will land on top of this pocket. Okay, let me check something. Okay, now these flip over and go on top of this flap. Right there. And then there's going to be one more. And the last one, I can put one in the middle right here because this lays, the way it's laying, it's not curling up on the ends. Let me grab another pack of magnets. Okay, so that goes right there. Okay, and that just folds over like this. Okay, so this is going to be the inside of the book, and you can see there's a little bit of space here, so you will know to open that like that. I'm going to put a map here and flip this over. Flip this over. Inside here will be a graphic 45 tag and a pocket. So let me show you how I decorated that. This is page 6. So on page 6 on our flap here, I have an 8x8 of the polar bear. Love that. And when I open it up, I've got a map here. So I took, this is a piece from the 12x12, and I cut it, I laid it on here, and I made a little pencil mark so that this would be in the center. So I put mark, I had to cut a little off the top, a little off the bottom. And then I put that on here and put a pencil mark where I needed to make my cuts. And there is a line right here that you can see this line going this way. There's another line north and south, and that's where I cut this. So when I made that cut first, I laid this on here and put a little pencil mark that would leave me just a little bit of an edge. Same thing here. This is now cut. Laid that on there and put a little pencil mark at the edge right where that would go. So you get the idea that this is a map. Even though it's not the 12x12 piece, it still looks nice like that. And then you open it this way, and I've got an 8x8 piece of the boat, same as over here. A water piece right here. This opens up. This is the back, I believe, of the boat. So I had a little piece left over, put a chipboard piece of some sea grass or whatever this is under there, and I took a long graphic 45 tag. I do have the die cut so I could run it through and cover the whole thing. If you don't have the die cut, you can just measure and cut up to here, and this part will be black, but that's okay. And you can put a blue ribbon here. I put a solid on the back, and I just cut it a little bit and then corner rounded the edges because it was a little too long if you put the whole tag in there. So this way it leaves me a little room to put some ribbon there. I have this is the reverse side, I think, of the polar bear, because that's the polar bear's fur. And I made about 4 of these little booklets out of there's a whole 12x12 sheet with 6 of these on it. So this is the whale, and that's a solid underneath. I took a scrap piece here and I put a little solid down here so I can journal. Try to leave some space for journaling. You'll appreciate that later. And that is it for this. So the pullout is an 8x8 of this same map that I used over here. I try to make the pullouts tie into whatever's going on the page. So that looks really nice. I hope you're happy with it. And the next video, we're on page 6 already.